not won a world or Olympic title in.
Her vault is very good, but she doesn't seem to have the explosive power of the Bogunskaya or Brandy Johnson. She's clean, but she just can't seem to get the height to give her the 10 she wants.
And waiting in the wings is Brandy Johnson in 7th place after the first rotation. After spending 6 months away from home to train with Bella Caroli in Houston, Texas before the Olympics, Brandy is back home again in Florida, and our Donna DeVerona had a chance to visit with her.
On the day of Brandy's birth, Mrs. Johnson just knew she had a special child. How many newborns simply roll over on the first day of life? So it was predictable that at 4 years of age, Brandy took up the sport of gymnastics. By the age of 15, she had made the Olympic team and had captured the all-around title at the USA-Soviet dual meet to rank her 3rd in the world, the highest ever for an American female gymnast. And her family's been there every step of the way.
Without my family, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Just the support I've had through the years. I had to move my family to Orlando so I could train, to Houston. I've moved my family all over the place, and I'm very grateful for them to be behind me 100%. If they weren't behind me, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Settled now in Altamont Springs, Florida at Kevin Brown's gym, Brandy's training regimen is so intense and the local public school schedule so inflexible that Brandy has chosen not to go to high school. Instead, she's taking correspondence courses. It's a solitary life with a lot of self-imposed discipline. Brandy's mom, Kathy, helps ease the burden.
Brandy and I go shopping to relieve pressure. That's one of our most favorite things to do.
No.
Mainly, our tension's released in the malls.
No pressure can be too big, I think. You just have to work through it, and I have my mom there to help me. She talks to me, and just to be the best is what I put the pressure on myself. It's not what the media puts on you or anything like that. The media will handle itself. I just put the pressure on myself to be the best I can.
For years, home has been where the coach and gym are. Now that Brandy is committed to Brown's Gymnastics, her father is building them a long-awaited dream house. Admittedly fearful about watching his daughter compete, Jerry still thinks gymnastics has been good for the family.
I think it's made us a better, stronger family, and we would all do it again if we had to.
I'm very proud of Brandy and all the titles and everything that goes along with it. And I don't look at her as, of course she's special because she's mine, but that's why she's special.
With coach, home, and family finally in place, it's a solid foundation for the next 2 years and hopes of Barcelona Olympic gold.
Brandy Johnson, she's come a long way since she was 6 years old and a member of the Tallahassee Tumbling Tots.
And I'm sure Brandy's putting a lot of pressure on herself to perform well here since she did fall in the preliminary competition on this event.
Incidentally, Daniela Silavas recorded a 9.925 in the vault.
The tendency when you have fallen in a preliminary competition is to hold back so it doesn't happen again, but you can't do that, otherwise your timing is off. Obviously, she didn't succumb to the nerves. Great routine.
Die Christina Bontas aus Rumänien mit ihrem zweiten Sprung.
A hug from Kevin Brown and one from Sandy Woolsey.
Brandy is really at her best when she's very aggressive. After that giant full turn, watch the landing position on this tuck double. He has perfect form, and she lands straight up and down.
And a score of 9.925 for Brandy Johnson. On deck from the Soviet Union, Olga Strasheva. She was 4th after the first rotation. She's competing in her first World Championships, but she was 3rd in the all-around in the European Championships last year in Brussels.
And Olga's really a powerful gymnast, but she's had her share of injuries, and if any event will test the body, it's vault.
That was a very clean vault, but Kathy, as you mentioned, watch the position on the landing. Her right foot shoots out. She's obviously favoring that ankle.
And despite the minor flaw, Olga receives a mark of 9.962. This is Svetlana Bogunskaya on the balance beam.
And she really starts out with a bang. It's a very gutsy move to begin with a front flip. You're telling the judges, here I am.
Kathy, away from the gym, Svetlana is very quiet, very reserved, but when she competes, she has an abundance of tenacity and inner drive.
Well, some say that drive stems from a personal tragedy that took place 3 days after the Seoul Olympics when her coach suddenly died under mysterious circumstances.
Soviet officials have refused to comment, but insiders say the death was a suicide. In any event, the loss of her coach has had a tremendous impact on Svetlana.
So light on her feet. Here's her dismount. Double back, perfect landing.
And now perhaps Svetlana can finally relax and let go a smile.
Now, this is the pass where she had trouble in the preliminaries and fell off. If you can believe, she's actually playing it safe when she under-rotates the second layout back. One slight bobble, but no fall.
Bogunskaya was tied for 5th after the first rotation, but that mark of 9.95 will move her up. So after 2 rotations, Olga Strasheva with the lead. Svetlana Bogunskaya is now tied for... And we'll...
300 back of the leader, Helmut Herfliner of...